Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have bingo-y tiles, but too many duplicates, so I don't think I have a bingo here. I certainly wish to split up the duplicates. And I can do that with GRR, and not playing any vowels inhibits opponent from scoring off this play. Wow, both these. However, Vav is good, so I can hopefully play the tiles I've picked up and have another go at drawing to gate. I don't think there are any 8s with this rack. GRR takes an L at the end. Now, what if opponent changes? Well, I guess I have Vav through either R. I certainly would like to get rid of both these if I can. Opponent does change. Cool. Okay, so by playing Vav, I am getting rid of both these, and I'm not providing a massive opportunity. Wow, no vowels apart from the A and a very non-bingo-y rack, so my optimism from my initial play of Gur, keeping gate, has somewhat diminished. I do have 2 S's, so I guess I could play Spags in row K and Varvs. Varv takes a number of hooks, including an L. I don't think I have a 6-letter play with this rack. An opponent likely to play around this E, not only because of this triple letter square, but also access to the double word squares and the difficulties of playing around the first V in Vav. So I also am looking to play in that spot, and if opponent plays in that spot, I'll be looking at the new spots he's created. I really think there's nothing for me through this V. Opponent did change 3 tiles, so could be sitting with a bingo. And if his bingo includes an S, that will play in row K. I don't think I had any alternatives to Vav, but we shall see later. So do I have any alternatives to Spags? Now, opponent does not bingo. I don't think Rejon takes an S. I think it's just ES. Opponent has provided a vowel in the O, but I could also play across here. Sag for 35, pretty decent score, giving away very little. 29 for Spags and Regions, should Regions be good. This rack leaves slightly consonant heavy, but I can't play anything more in row K. I like this play. What am I thinking of? Let me change that to Sap. Not Og. 39 points. Slightly worse rack leave. But that is a good pick. A nice couple of vowels, the best of the 5. And I'm close to a bingo, but I don't have a 7. Just wondering about, through a floating A, whether I would have stackage, but that doesn't feel right. However, this is a nice looking rack. C and K have synergy. Gek is good. Sap has also taken out the Vav hooks, so the bottom left of the board no longer accessible. I have a slim lead. Now, does Rejon take an S? I think it's worth checking this. It does not. Okay, well that means the board is tighter than I thought. Column 7 available for ING bingos. But N not particularly useful as the final letter in a bingo. I think man, men and ation are probably the main suffixes. Row L looks hot, hooking JA. Yeah, and that works for me with Gek. Gek taking an O and an S. But opponent could well play there because there are so limited opportunities on this board as it stands. In fact, this opening combination of Ger and Vav has really dampened down the board a lot. All of the action appears to be focused in the bottom right at the moment. Of course, once a bingo is played, the board could explode into life. Rows G and I are available as bingo lanes, but the tiles which go before and after G aren't massively bingo-y and don't include E, S or R. In fact, it's just vowels. I, O, U after G and A in front. Wow, fantastic bingo by opponent. That has opened the board up. There is an A for stackage or tackages. There's a U for tuckages, or a lot of these AGES words sound plausible. And I've got A, U and E to consider. I'm not going to try any of them. I don't think any of them are good. I'm minded to sort my rack out. Gek scores 38 points and creates a new bingo lane in column 14. And I think sorting my rack out is a priority. I am going with this. Wow, that is grim. Through a P, I would have qoph. But just at the point when I was hoping to have a bingo, I did keep AST with some bingo-y floaters on the board. I've drawn a lot of non-bingo-y tiles, and in particular the Q and the X. However, I do have AT for cats. So I have cats and jags, burning the S. Likewise, in column 1, there's a U for my Q, so I could play quoth or quotha. So I am going to have options here. Now my X can also go in front of U for a 50-point play, Axe and Zoo. I think opponent is likely to play in column 1, but that's not 100%. If he had an S bingo as a 7, that may well go down in column 14 or row M. So, are there any other Q spots I need to consider? Wow, 84-point play for opponent. Very nice. What can I do? I now trail by a bingo. So I do have this cat's spot in row M. That scores 36 points, which halves the distance behind my opponent. Slightly reluctant to make this play, given that I'm burning the S, but I am getting rid of the Q and I'm not seeing alternative plays. Now I have an O for gecko. Well, I'm certainly not going to be able to play the Q using that hook. And I am retaining the O, so I am going with cats. I draw the U, which almost always happens as soon as you've played the Q. And not a great rack. I do have Deux, which plays well in column 14. DOUX, probably not pronounced that way. I have Hood in column 2. I don't really wish to keep X and U. Now, have I created anything super hot in column 8? Wow, opponent changes. Gosh. Well, I'd quite like to keep the board volatile since I trail. 36 points, another solid score, creating a new bingo lane in column 15. But this spot above the A is super hot. Any form of high scoring tile above that A, and you're looking at a 30 or 40 point play. Hod, not the greatest rack leave. I'm just wondering if I have a play in column 8. I think the best I can see is Horde. 36 points. Maybe that's worth doing. Draws me level with opponent. What did opponent change? He changed 6 tiles. Yeah, changed 6 tiles, so he's not fishing for a bingo, he's getting rid of junk. Horde feels a safer bet given the score differential. If I play Daux, I was keeping Hod, which wasn't great, but I was giving opponent opportunity to use this Horde spot and a triple word square in column 15. Whereas this dampens down the volatility, retains the O for Gecko, retains the X for score. I'm going with this. Okay, not terrible. Miles away from a bingo, but that's the way it goes. Now I do have access to this triple letter square down from the J, the G, the J, the G. So Ox and Oxo go in that spot. What about a column 2 play ending OX or AX? Not seeing one. The best I can see is Axoid, but I don't wish to place an A in the middle of row A. I'm not seeing anything great using Gecko. I guess, wow, opponent turning over tile, still one blank to come. And I guess my frustration is caused by the fact that he has not provided a nice X spot, so I still have to wrestle with that. So I have Ox here. Oxo for 29. Opponent can now play down to this triple word square. And I'm throwing away the Gek hook, but still 4 O's to come. And row E quite hot, particularly with my rack. I can play BA in that spot, and I may pick up a tile which can go after that. And certainly my B and D can go to the left of the O of Oxo, and playing 3 tiles increases my chances of drawing the blank and also improves the vowel consonant balance. What can I do that's better? 13 minutes on my clock. So I have Oxid and Gecko. 36 points. Interesting. But I don't think that's good enough. I could play Docs and Dope. 28 points. Well, look at this, still a ton of vowels to come. Not seeing anything through WE. Have I given up on 4 letter plays ending OX? So this is 29. That's 32. Inviting a column 3 parallel play. Risking vowels. 12 minutes on my clock. So what about retaining the X, playing Doob for 29, and setting up a nice X spot for next turn? I quite like this. B was a non-bingo-y tile, and X does hold out the prospects of scoring. I am going with this. Well, looking fractionally more bingo-y, just the X is the non-bingo tile, and the duplicate's problematic as well. But I have Nix in column 3, which would sort everything out. I no longer have O's for Gecko, but that was always a hook that was most likely to be useful. Wow, fantastic bingo by opponent, 71 points. And although Oxo would have blocked that, he would have had that bingo in column 14. Now my Ox spot at the top remains available, so this is encouraging. Nix for 41, which is a decent score. It's only 30 less than opponent scored. And look at this, Rackley. Rain goes well with D. Still one S and a blank to come. Can I do any better than this? Well, the X can't play in column 1. What about this A? Well, I don't think I can play any better than Nix in terms of rack leave. So I am going with this. Vowels. That is a shame. Do I have anything through the D? I don't think I do, and I have only 1 pointers, and I trail by 30. So I'm probably looking at a low score. Ox takes an O, still 3 to come. Wow, that was a disappointing pickup. I have Weenia in column 5, but it's not a double-double. And it's a shame burning these bingo-y tiles. If I kept the best rack leave, I would be playing just EI, which I probably can do. I could play nice, creating a new bingo lane. But the score's going to be dismal. And there's also a risk that I draw duplicate E's and I's. So although keeping AEINR is a very bingo-y 5-letter set, it's not great with 1 vowel, and it's pretty terrible with 2. Let me check the remaining vowels. 15 out of 37, so slightly vowel dry, but still a lot of vowels to come. So what about Weenia? 20 points. Keeping AI. Surely I can do better than that. Well, I have NIE, bottom left. 19 points. Is there any way to leave a better vowel consonant balance? There is. I can play 9I in row A, and I minded to. That would leave just AR, turn over 5 tiles. Score 21 points. Yeah, just 1A, 1R to come, and I would be retaining AR. So there's a lot good about that, and I would be restricting opponent's ability to make the OXO hook. Now, surely opponent's going to be distracted by the bottom of the board. Opponent, well, out-eats 2 vowels, 2 consonants. That makes it hard to make a 4-letter play, particularly with a scoring tile in front of the E. So maybe opponent will have a low score, and I'll get 9I down. Game certainly not over yet. So what if nine is blocked? Look how restrictive this V of varves has been. It's completely stopped development of the top right of the board, and region not taking an S has helped keep that a completely dry area. But there are still bingo lanes on the board, column 14 in particular, because of the O and S hooks for Geck, and the D of Horde is a pretty useful floater. Out-eat's not the easiest word to play around. I guess the most useful feature of it is the A next to the double word square. Wow, that's a good score by opponent, 45 points. Remaining tiles looking pretty bingo-y. Opponent's provided nothing great for me, so I have got 9 up here for 21. Yeah. Well, do I have... Oh, I was going to say Wanderer. I don't. Or do I? Yes, I do. Yes, fantastic. I do have a bingo through this D. I thought I had it, then I thought I hadn't, and then I thought I did, and I do. Fantastic. What if that is blocked? And it could be. Well, it's not hugely likely to be blocked. It's only likely to be blocked if opponent bingos through it. A play down hooking Gecko is not going to block it. So, is this the point at which I draw level with opponent? He leads by 50 points. No 7 with this rack. What else is available? Is there a double through WE? So perhaps an RE word? Well, I'm not seeing one. No, I'm really not seeing very much at all if my bingo is blocked. Well, I have Rue, which certainly sorts the rack out. REW, keeping near. His opponent's about to stick down another bingo. 2 Ys and an F. Those are the non-bingo-y tiles, but pretty much everything else looks fair game for a bingo, and there's still this blank to come. Hom was a really nice play. Pretty much 2/3 of a bingo, turning over tiles and getting rid of high-scoring non-bingo-y tiles. Column 1 still not looking great. Certainly not for 4-letter bingos. Wham, not good. So I can't play the W in column 1. Toe is good. Opponent goes there. Which means Wanderer is playable for 63. Does it have an anagram beginning with D? No, it does not. Wow. From a bingo-y pool, that is a pretty non-bingo-y pick. Absolutely horrendous. And only 10 tiles left. I trail by 30, and opponent could be about to bingo. And even if he doesn't bingo, he could be leaving very few tiles in the bag. This is really awful. I can sort the rack out, but only at the cost of turning over a lot of tiles. I've got Nidify and Finny on my rack. But will there be 6 tiles in the bag? And I'd really need 7 if I wanted to play Nidify and leave a tile in the bag. Gosh, maybe Wanderer was a false dawn for me. So 44 for opponent, 5 tiles in the bag. So Nidify would leave me with 6 tiles and no bingo. I can play Finny for 40 points. DI, decent rack leave. 2 bingo lanes, says column 14. There is row B. Wow, 3 eyes, and I'm retaining 1. I'd be very fortunate to dodge all of those. 6 vowels out of 12 tiles. Any alternatives to Finny? This is going to empty the bag. I do need to play off F and Y because they're non-bingo and because I need a bingo to win. Otherwise I could play Indie, although that may not be good. I don't think it is. So Finny, 40 points, 367. I'll trail by 30. A bingo probably would do the job. Opponent would struggle to block both bingo lanes. Wow. Wow. Is this the moment? I dodge all of those eyes. I can see what opponent's got. He's got 7 1-point tiles. Do I have 2 bingos? How long have I got? I've got 8 minutes. So I have dialed in row B and I have dialed in column 14. Wow. Can opponent block both? He'd need to play across from the eye of Nene 6 tiles. Surely that is too much for him to do. Wow. I think I may have stolen this game from my opponent at the death. Let's see what he's got in his locker. He is surely not bingoing with this rack. And I don't think he can block my bingos. So let me turn my attention to finding the best bingo. I think that's got to be column 14 because I can benefit from the F, so that would be dialed. That scores more than anything else, so that's that. Is there another way of opponent to obstruct me? What about a 5-letter play in column 14? Okay, has he got one of those? Both I and O go in front of F. It only needs to be a 4-letter play, actually. He could play TT. And that would block both of my bingos. Well, I would be hopeful of finding another, but TT, yeah, that might, well, does stop the bingos I have identified. So let me look for 7s. Maybe something here. I have the double ending. Not seeing anything. That is Sedilla. And some of these plays may play parallel to TT. That's dialed. Possibly gallied. And I'd like to have these bingos in mind in case opponent blocks both the ones I've identified so that I can see fairly quickly if they play parallel to, for example, TT. Die Allel. I'm also looking to see if any of these bingos can start further to the left under 9-eye. Leylandii through the right floaters. Not seeing a 7. Gosh, is Pallid good? Possibly. Rallied is. Dahlia. I'm really hampered by I not taking an L. Sallied. No, there are 4 anagrams here. Sallied. Laldies. Disleal. Dallies. tallied. 1 minute on opponent's clock. I don't think Waleed is good. Now, what about a play ending in N? That certainly would not be blocked by TT. But I'm not seeing one. And look at this, opponent's got a 30-point lead. So if opponent plays TT and I can't bingo, then he's likely to win the game, which would be awful given how triumphant I felt moments ago. Down to his final 50 seconds. There it goes, TT. So, do I have a bingo ending in T? So I have the IEST ending. Dalliest not good. I not looking hopeful. What about a parallel play? L does go in front of I. I have 8 minutes on my clock, and I have to overlap every tile in TT. Now I could begin underneath the E. Did any of my bingos do that? Dallied. Whoa. That saves a lot of... no, IA not good. What does go under the I? Just the D. Okay, so let me come back to column 13. L goes here, D goes here. All of my vowels go in the other spots. Surely there's something here. I'm going to look for sevens again. That's Sedilla, that doesn't go. Gallied doesn't go. Couldn't see one here. E Illard onto an E. Rallied, dialer. Now there were several here. Sallied, disleal, laldies, dallies, none of those go. Tallied, that doesn't go. 6 minutes on my clock. So, any other bingo lanes I haven't considered? Let me come back to bingos ending in T. Or ending ATE or ITE. Not seeing one. So what if it ended ITE? I feel there is a bingo here. I just have not identified it. What about if it ends ATE? No. Wow, what a position to be in. What is the best approach here? Where is the most fruitful spot? Let me reconsider row B. That requires the fewest number of overlaps. So what goes under the I? Okay, the D does. That hasn't proved fruitful. But let me consider the blank. F, no. N, no. O, no. S, no. T, no. So I'm not seeing anything in row B. I can forget about that. The T has got to be the most useful, I think. So 3 minutes on my clock. This rack plus a T. Not seeing anything. Still nothing. So landline through an E, through an N rather. That looks like there could be something. I'm going to revisit this N when I finish this exercise. Not seeing anything there. No, so 2 minutes on my clock. Let me come back to this N. I was thinking of medallion. Not seeing anything. So what about through WE? No, opponent's got... I'm sure he can go out, but he's so far ahead I can't catch him. What am I missing? Is there a 7 which just slots in? What goes in front of if apart from D? R, K, S. And that's where disleal just fails. Well, I'm down to my last minute. And wow, this is so frustrating. Really nothing in row B? That's remarkable, but I haven't seen it. No. Wow, that's frustrating. Well, let me just play lead. That is so frustrating. There could be more than one bingo as well. And opponent goes out. Wow. What an intense game. And the final score, 395 for me, 432 for my opponent, a winning margin of 37 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. And I can't wait to get to that final rack. So, here we go. No bingos here. These are all wrecking racks. So although it looks like they score a lot more, there's not that much difference between these plays. This has been a long video, so I'll swoop through a lot of this, I think. That's Vav. That's region, looks fine. 62, 8J for rejoin. Down column 8, yeah, burning the blank. I play sap, that looks fine. Great bingo by opponent, Tuatara. No missed bingo here, this was the Tuckage's rack. I play Gek, which looks fine. Great spot by opponent of Zoftig. I have a bit of a horror show, B2 Hoax, 48, but keeping the Q. So I prefer, well, keeping the Q, but keeping the S. So I dropped points, but I burnt both of those. Now 7 vowels for opponent. He changes. He could have played Zuia. And I play Horde for 36. That looks fine. Up there in the mix. Opponent plays Lord. Now Axoid, J14. Yeah, not bad. What do? I play Doob for 29. Keeping the X. Axoid, pretty volatile play. And great bingo by opponent. So he leads by 70. But I felt slightly optimistic here. I had Nix for 40, leaving a good rack lead. But this was a fantastic play by opponent of Hom. And I played Nene for 21. I could have got 18 more points for Zoe. Probably worth doing, despite the duplicate eye. That's only worth about 5. Opponent's rack plays Sep. And now my hopes rose. I had Wanderer. And I trailed by about 30. Opponent plays Boys. And I play Finny to have a full rack at the end. So here we go. Opponent's move. He plays TT. And here we are. This is the moment. What did I miss? Nothing. Gosh. Okay. Well, no missed bingo. I am surprised. D1 Zoil 39 would not have been enough. That would have taken me to within 6 of opponent, but opponent has got oil bottom right. So all that agonizing, and there was no winning play. But look at this rack. It looks so promising. And that was the end of the game. Let me just have a look for opponent's options. And he has a ton of outs all over the board. So absolutely cracking stuff, and I was really down and out, but then came back into it with Wanderer, Finny, and a great final pickup of the blank and a very bingo-y looking set of tiles. But tremendous play by opponent in finding TT, which blocked my bingos, and then gave me an agonizing, I think, 8 minutes looking for a non-existent winning bingo. Anyway, many congratulations to my opponent on that victory, and thanks to him for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.